I started my career as a TV reporter in Florida, then moved to LA to become a TV host. And then I discovered TikTok Shop and I was like, man, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. The biggest thing with live streaming is you need to know the product good enough. There was one time where no one would let me get off the stream. I'm like, y'all, I'm so hungry. I'm getting dizzy. I'm leaving. And they were like, no. And so I just started cooking in the live stream. And that live stream where they wouldn't let me go, I hit 10K GMV. If you see a bunch of people adding to cart, even though they didn't purchase, that is a sign that you will have some successful lives with that product.
What is an estimated lifetime GMV generated?
334,000. And since I sent that to you, I think I've hit like 20K more since then.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy, a podcast that uncovers a story and strategy from the top 1% of TikTok Shop affiliates. Don't forget to join our free community at affiliateacademyhq.com. I am your host, Ivan. We have a very special guest today. He is a full-time TikTok Shop creator, comedian, entertainment host who's interviewed top Hollywood A-listers like The Rock, Chris Evans, Margot Robbie. I am definitely kind of not on that list, but he's interviewed all those people, so awesome to that. Also, an entertainment reporter for ABC 7 Los Angeles, former Yahoo News and Yahoo Entertainment reporter, appeared on The Bachelorette, so my wife and I watched that show, so awesome to hear that. Netflix #1 movie, They Cloned Tyrone. With over $334,000 in lifetime GMV on TikTok Shop, journalism has been recognized with an Emmy Award nomination, Associated Press Award, and Telly Award, named 2022 Outstanding Young Alumnus by University of Southern Florida, and a master's degree from Northwestern University. Welcome, Garrett Flowers.
Yeah, you make me sound too good, man.
Like I was saying pre-call, that like I'm a lowly, father of 3 with a laptop in front of him, and you got all these accolades, so it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Dude, you have a lot of accolades yourself, so I'm including this podcast that I already was listening to, so I'm super glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
I love that. And you're one of the few people I've interviewed who are previous listeners or listened to a bunch of episodes. So if the answers that you could give would be like in the frame of a list, like how did you extract the information? How did you use, by listening to it and then putting it into action would be huge for these affiliates. But let's start there. Like as you listen, like do you have any tips or tricks on how to kind of extract and use the information? To use notes or something you just keep in your brain? But how do you kind of listen to podcasts and extract what you need from it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing hearing people from your podcast was like, I can do it. When I was in grad school, I had a professor that said, you're going to be on TV one day, as a news reporter. And just hearing her say that always pushed me. And so I got that same feeling from your podcast. Like, wow, I'm hearing these interviews of people who are successful. I know I can do it. So that's the biggest thing, is the belief. And then the thing, every guest had their own little sauce of something that really stood out. And you just take those little small things and you try to add it into your workflow.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, reflecting now on the wide range of people that have done it, like there's no rhyme or reason or any requirements that need to be had. Like if you in front of your phone, wanting to make videos is enough, right? So if you're listening to this, you could do it. So, listen to Garen's story, see if it vibrates with you, listen to others. If it vibrates with you, then and go at it. So appreciate that. Cool. All right. So tell me a little bit, I mean, pretty like big intro, but what were you doing before TikTok Shop came about?
Yeah, so I started my career as a TV reporter in Florida. So the guy getting blown over in hurricanes, that was me. I've covered a lot of big stories, a lot of the big hurricanes in Florida, the Trayvon Martin story, the Pulse nightclub shooting story, interviewed Governor Rick Scott many times. Like I did some really big stories. And friends of mine just reminded me, like, man, you always wanted to move to LA. Like, what are you doing? What's going on? And having those good friends was like, wow, that was powerful. So I, up in 2018, I left news and moved to LA to become a TV host, game show host, all the things that you see in the bio. And so I get to interview celebrities and, do hosting gigs. The ultimate goal is to host TV shows. So that's why I'm here in Los Angeles now. And getting into entertainment, you still have to work to survive.
Yeah.
And those things where I'm interviewing celebrities and stuff like that, those are freelance opportunities. So I only get so many a month,
Right.
and not enough to sustain a career. So I started working at Yahoo as a reporter, and that was great, but it was time to move on. And I was like, let me try UGC.
Yeah.
And UGC I couldn't stand because it just was so much work for so little output, so
Right.
little benefit. And then I discovered TikTok Shop, and I was like, man, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm only making $100 in GMV a month, but I'm having so much fun. So
Yeah.
that's how I got here.
I love it. Okay, so very comfortable in front of the camera.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed when I interview people is that they have some kind of trait. Either they were in sales or in front of the camera, or they were kind of social media creators prior to TikTok Shop, and then that easily translates to TikTok Shop and creating on that channel. So I love that. And then you mentioned you're kind of following your dream in a way, kind of going away from what's safe to kind of something where you're following your dream a little bit, but that didn't necessarily give you, let's call it like the monetary backup that you needed, right? And so now TikTok Shop gave you that opportunity, and then kind of here we are today, right?
Yeah, you nailed it with that. And TikTok Shop fits exactly what I'm doing. My
Yeah.
goal is to be a major TV host, and with TikTok Shop, I'm basically a host. I get to make video on products. I get to live stream. So it's right in line with what I'm doing in entertainment. I feel like my life is all my dream now because I love TikTok Shop and I get to do the entertainment stuff.
Awesome. Okay, so walk me through that first TikTok Shop video, that first TikTok live, or maybe even your first TikTok account. I imagine you maybe didn't have one, but how did you kind of get started on TikTok and then kind of into TikTok Shop and being an affiliate?
Absolutely. So you mentioned how you helped launch GoPure. Well, that was my very first TikTok Shop video.
Nice.
This was during the days where you didn't have to have the product and you could kind of get away with just showing it on screen. And I was like, oh, let me just show a picture of it. And I never got a violation, thank God. But I was like, let me just show a picture of it. And I did request a sample, and I ended up getting a sample, and I have it now. But I just showed a picture once I requested the sample. Like, why wait till I get it? Let me just start now.
Yeah.
And that video got decent views, but I didn't make any sales. But it just showed that I really enjoyed it, and I just kept going from there.
Right. So you just kind of anxious to get started. You made a video and off to the races. So that first video got you some views, and you're like, hey, people are watching it. Talk me through that first sale. Like, what video, or maybe that first aha moment where you're like, hey, I'm making a video, someone's buying it, I'm making money. Okay, let's do this more. Talk me through that first aha moment.
My first aha moment. Well, I started in August of 2024. That was my GoPure video.
Okay.
And I stopped doing TikTok Shop because I noticed I started losing followers. I was on TikTok in 2019, so I had enough followers to just get into TikTok Shop.
Yep.
And I just didn't like that I was losing followers. And so I stopped. And then in like October that year, so August and then October, I was like, you know what? I went ghost on TikTok. I went ghost on my followers for like 2 years. Like, why do I care if there's some people that leave? Like, why? Like, I wasn't even doing any content. They're probably leaving just because they see me active again. So I was like, you know what? Just go all in. So I went all in October, and I started losing a bunch of followers. I lost like maybe 3,000 followers. So I went from like 15,000 to like 13 or 12,000.
Oh, still kind of good amount. Okay.
Yeah, I lost a good amount of people. But when you lose people, your people are deciding to leave because you're pivoting.
Yep.
But you're not accounting for the new people that are going to come in. Because now, less than a year later, I have 34,000 followers because of TikTok Shop. So I went from 12 or 13,000 to now 34,000. So my biggest aha moment was in October when I started enjoying it. And I don't remember what my first sale was, but I remember I started getting some sales, and it was nice.
Nice. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm making more. And then so what about, aha, related to the aha moment, the one that was like, holy crap, like I'm making a lot of money. Like, tell me about that. Like,
so my first aha moment was I got these men's hair clippers from Glaker, and they were already a viral product, but nobody was live streaming with them. So I just kept live streaming with them, and I was making a little bit of money, 4, 5, 6 sales, which was great. I was like, I'm making 4 sales. That's awesome. Yeah. December of 2024, I had a date planned, and like 3 hours before the date, I was like, I'm gonna crank open a 1 hour live stream. I cranked open the live stream and the sales were flowing. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I was about to reach $1,000 in GMV 3 hours later. And I had the date. So
yeah, you had to stop.
So I had to text. People in the live were like, don't you dare leave until you reach 1,000 GMV. You better not leave. And so I couldn't text on my phone. So I'm texting the girl on my computer like, hey, I'm so sorry I'm late. And the date was at her house, so it wasn't like she was going to be stood up at a restaurant. So I was like, so sorry I'm so late, I'm like finishing up work. And she was super kind about it. And I hit that 1,000 GMV in that live, and then I've just soared from there. That was nice. Big moment.
So what type of like commissions were you seeing on that $1,000 GMV? It was like 20%, 30%?
Yeah, they hit me with, I started with 15 and then they upped me to 20. And I think 20% was the most I ended up getting with those hair clippers.
Okay, cool. And then the super critical part here, but like you said, they started with 15, then went to 20. How did that go about? Did they offer it? Did you ask it? How did it get increased?
I always asked for them to increase.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those nuggets that people can glance over, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Like, hey, and most brands, or at least the brands that I consult with, there is a little bit left over to give for higher value, and even kind of motivated creators, right? If they're motivated, they're asking, there's a reason, right? They like your product, they want more, right? So if you're, out there debating whether you should ask or not, why not? It doesn't hurt, right? And give them a reason to give it to you, right? Hey, my videos are performing better than your average videos, or hey, I generated GMV off one video, I can do more. And then as I'm talking right now, what about asking for more products, more samples to give out? Like, I know for you in live, do you ask the brand for products to give out as giveaways on your lives?
Yeah, I ask for all that. I ask for flash sales, for giveaways, for more products. And when you're selling for a brand, they're going to offer to send you products. I never have to ask a brand to send me more product. They're like, hey, if you're selling this model, I want you to sell this model.
Yep. Okay. So your aha moment was on lives. Talk to me about your live strategy. This is kind of, I noticed like about a bulk of your GMV generated. Talk me through, how you prepare for live. Especially, let's talk about like now. Like, how do you do it now today? If you're gonna launch today, like what type of prep do you do for it?
Yeah. So the biggest thing with live streaming is you need to know the product good enough. You don't need to be an expert on it. You don't need to be an expert, but you need to know it good enough to where, like, what's the size, what's the benefit, what's the value, just have a base knowledge to where you can do a repeating script every 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that may make people sound crazy, feel like they're going crazy, but people are flowing in and out of your live stream. So every 3 to 5 minutes, you can repeat the same info and just switch it up however you want to. But so I always try to think of the product and what the kind of the benefits and the things are about the product.
Okay.
And I should probably show it to you, but it's kind of messy. But I have a whole stack of cologne right here. And I just make sure I put the fragrances that I want to promote in the front, and then just have all my fragrances. I'm going to show you. It's in my place messy.
No worries.
Right here, I've got all my fragrances right here, and I just go live right here from my seat with my fragrances, and it just sells like hotcakes, man. It just goes crazy.
So your niche right now is lives for fragrances.
Yes. So the hair clippers for me were big up until about April. And then I was getting burnt out on those, and they weren't progressing. Like, I'm asking the brand for a retainer. I'm like, look, I am your biggest seller. I sell more hair clippers than anybody. Like, I need something to keep going because I'm kind of stalling a little bit, and I need a retainer or something. And they were not, they did not want to give me a retainer, and they didn't want to grow. And I told them, well, I need to move on, you know? And so like April, May was kind of just like I was just kind of a lost kid trying to find my new product, just kind of out. And I discovered cologne. TikTok was like, you're the cologne guy. And I don't know why they dubbed me that, but I posted one video in May and it went super viral. And that was my first viral video. And so now I'm getting lots of money in streams, and now I'm making video money too.
So interesting. Okay. So found your success with hair clippers that kind of took its toll, or kind of got to the end of the road. Now you found a new niche of cologne. Um, Fragrance is super popping on TikTok Shop, right? Whether it be men's cologne, women's cologne, but also even like the home fragrance, right? So like laundry, detergents, etc. So yeah, and then actually asking kind of selfishly, I'm not a cologne wearer, but that also means that I kind of look at colognes here and there to see if I can wear cologne. Like, what do you suggest? What's a cologne that's I mean, you see all the colognes. I saw your desk. There's like 50 of them on there. What do you kind of top two or top one?
Yeah, you can absolutely wear cologne, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know you're married, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know your wife is already crazy about you, but it's gonna be even crazier. What's all right? So the first two I always recommend for guys. I always ask guys, "What's your vibe? Do you like more sweet, more masculine, more daytime, more nighttime?" Because it should be personal to you and
Yeah.
not just.
Okay. Not just one blanket. Like, yeah. Okay.
However, when they're like, I don't know, I always
Mhm.
say Jimmy Choo Man Blue, because this fragrance is one that you could wear during the day or at night and any time of the year. Because certain fragrances are good for a certain time of the year or a certain time of the day. This one you could wear anytime, whenever. So I always
Yeah.
recommend Jimmy Choo Man Blue. And then his confessions, bro. His confessions drives women crazy. Women love this fragrance. I tell guys, if you wear this on a date, if you wear this around your wife, they're not going to stop talking about how good you smell.
Okay. I might go for the latter because this would be mainly for like date night and kind of if we go to a concert or something special, not necessarily like more. But yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
That's confessions from Latafa.
Okay, so you're like I said before, you're making the majority of your GMV through the lives and now fragrance. How do you set up? I mean, some questions that come to mind is like, okay, well, you have 20 different colognes out there. Do you promote the 20 different? Do you subset it to like the top 5? What are your kind of thoughts behind like such a wide range of colognes and then how to make lives accordingly?
Yeah, so I'll share my little secret that I discovered that really helped me with cologne. So
Nice.
a lot of people were either promoting just like one cologne the whole live stream, like just one fragrance the whole time,
Yep.
and get on the camera, or they're promoting a bunch of stuff at the same time, and it's super confusing.
Yep.
So what I did was I have a bunch here, obviously, and I promote a bunch, but I just focus on one. So I
Okay.
have my one that I'm focusing on, my Jimmy Choo or my His Confessions or my Trolley Elixir. And this is the one that I keep repeating every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I have all these to choose from if you want to go on the shopping cart. So I'm not
Mhm.
switching back and forth to different fragrances every 2 minutes. I'm focusing on one, but
Mhm.
you might like Game of Spades. So I'll say, hey, I got Game of Spades right here. Then it's number 50 in the shopping cart.
Okay, so one focus that you kind of call back on and use the other ones to kind of add meat to the presentation. Like, hey, here's a related one, or in the same family, or if you're date night, this is a good complimentary one. If you're doing daytime, okay, cool. And then they're all part of the stream. They're all able to buy it, but there's still one focus, which is the main one. Okay, love it, love it. Okay, cool. I'm not sure how that would be able. I mean, I think you can do it with like fashion live streaming. But yeah, that's super helpful. Kind of one focus and then expanding using the rest to kind of talk to fill in the gaps. Okay, so you have a cologne. I would not be able to talk for how long do you talk first, and I wouldn't be able to talk that long about colognes. How do you do it? I know you repeat every 3 or 4 minutes, but what other insights can you give on like talking about cologne for extended period of time?
I don't do anything less unless I'm like super busy and I can only do an hour or whatever. I don't do
Mhm.
anything less than 2 or 3 hours every
Okay.
Cologne live stream. And the most that I do is 7 hours. And it's so easy.
Oh my god! All right, you're gonna need to walk me through this. I can't. Okay, I can't even fathom sitting in 7 hours. Like, how do you eat? How do you go to the restroom? First of
Yeah,
all.
yeah. So so a lot of people freak out over I need to go to the restroom, I need to eat. People in live streams won't leave.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they'll stay there if you make it a game. So I say, y'all, it's time for my favorite segment of the day, bathroom sales. Who can purchase the cologne while I'm in the bathroom? And then I have these moderators that are hyping everyone up. Bathroom sales, guys, let's go. So I'll spend 2 minutes going to the bathroom and I'll come back and be like, yo, we got 4 bathroom sales. So I gamify it. I gamify it. Like who's
Yeah.
gonna purchase while I'm in the bathroom? It's my favorite purchases. They get no benefit from that, but I just hype it up. And
Yeah.
and then I'll eat before the 7 hour live streams. I'll eat before, and that'll sustain me for the rest of it. And I have little little bars that you can chew on.
Yeah.
And you go to the bathroom and then you just eat the bar before you come back to the live stream. There was one time where no one would let me get off the stream. I'm like, y'all, I'm so hungry. I'm getting dizzy. I'm leaving. And they were like, no. And so I just started cooking in the live stream. I started cooking and eating during the live stream. It was crazy.
Dude, that is amazing. So you're essentially turning
And
that. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that live stream where they wouldn't let me go, I hit 10K GMV in the live.
Killer.
Yeah.
Killer. Okay. So now you're what I heard from there is you're turning a dull or potentially bad moment into a positive moment, right? So it's like, hey, I'm not going to be here. There's going to be dead time, but hey, let's turn it into hey, let's a sales opportunity. So I love that. And then another thing you kind of snuck in there, but moderators. So you have your own moderators. I assume. Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. How'd you develop that? Like, what does that do for you? How does moderators play a role in your lives?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to exist doing cologne without my moderators because the comments, Ivan, are insane.
Okay.
I get like 10 comments every 30 seconds. If not more. It's insane. And so when I did the hair clippers, even when I had like 100 to 200 people in the live stream, I could still answer every single comment. I
Yeah.
could answer and address every single one. Nobody went unaddressed. Now I'm getting so many comments. There's no way for me to address everyone.
Yeah.
So I had this guy named Big Boss Man on TikTok. His name is Isaac. That started off kind of like he started off kind of trolling me a little bit, and I just like entertained it, and we ended up becoming like pretty cool, and he ended up start like hyping me up, became a hype man for this TV tablet that I promote.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. The vertical one.
yep. And so he saw me doing cologne, and he just kept hyping me up. So he became and then a coach of mine for TikTok Shop was like, Garen, you don't need to hire a moderator, just like see who in your live streams just like come to every live stream and vibes with you and see if they'll do it. And I was like, oh, that's great advice. So he just started doing it. So I reached out to him. I was like, bro, like I'll give you moderator responsibilities if you want to. Like you're awesome. You show up to every stream, you hype me up, you hype up the product. So I started with him, and then his sister came in. I didn't know it was his sister. She started hyping me up. So now his sister Allie, those two moderate for me. And then another woman named Aurora came in. She started moderating. And then a friend of mine who also does TikTok Shop, whenever she's not busy, she moderates for me. So now I have 4 moderators that will mute people, will answer people's questions, will tell people where in the cart to find a product. It just happened naturally.
I love it. Okay, a couple kind of baseline questions here. How many people approximately or average do you have in your live stream? And then 2, how often do you go live?
On average, I'll have 300 people steady in the live stream, like easy. But then there's some live streams that I'll have over 1,000 people just hanging out.
Okay. How often do you go live a week, let's say?
I go live about 2 times a day. So that would be about 14, give or take, lives a week. Sometimes I'll miss a day if I got something going on. Now that video's taken off too, I can take a day off and say, all right, I don't need to go live today, and I'll make some money.
Okay, so you found that baseline through lives, and now good segue into videos, right? So after being exposed to colognes and fragrance, you in the lives, you're seeing recent success with shoppable videos, and I assume with fragrance, correct? Talk me through that. How did that come about?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, in April and May, I was kind of stuck and trying to figure out my new success product. When you have success and then it goes down, that's super. Yeah, affiliates say it all the time, man. It's very deflating when you have the success and it kind of goes down. And I was trying to find my new thing, and it started with the video first. I posted my good old Jibby Choo Man Blue, and a video took off, and I was like, what? And so I was like, maybe I should live stream with this. And I went live with it, and I got a bunch of add to carts. And that's another thing with live streamers. If you see a bunch of people adding to cart, even though they didn't purchase, that is a sign that you will have some successful lives with that product. If there's a ton of carts. So yeah, basically with videos, I was very stubborn, Ivan. Like I loved making my own videos from scratch, top to bottom. And I have another coach that I told her that, and she said, Garen, I get it, but like, basically my question to you is, do you not like success? And I was like, oh, she was like, you can still do your thing. You can still be that creative, fun Garen, but just imitate someone else's hook and imitate what works. And I said, okay, you know what? I'll try it. So I took this hook from this one guy. He was in his car with a hat on, and I took a similar hook, but I just went to my rooftop and I wore a suit. And it was the most simple video. I was like, my girl hates when I'm wearing my Jimmy Choo Man Blue. I get so many compliments. A kind of similar hook that he made, but I was on the rooftop in a suit, so it was different because he was in a car dressed down. And the video went bananas and in May, and I made a ton of GMV, and that video still makes me money to this day.
Yeah, I love it. And so we're gonna review that video in a little bit, but okay, so you basically saw a viral video that was popping and then extracted the hook from that, right? Like, hey, this is an interesting hook. I can change it. I can add my own flair to it. And then that's kind of seen success. So like, talk me through a little bit of the success. What did that look like? How much GMV and then commissions? Like what kind of success are we talking about here?
Yeah. So I was telling someone yesterday that video in May probably got by itself probably somewhere between 10 to 20 GMV, just that one video by itself. But that video is the thing that let me know that cologne is my thing. So even though that video made me 10 to 20K something in May, I've made over 130,000 GMV in July, and on track for that this month too.
Yeah.
That video showed me that cologne is my thing. So I mean, I feel like that created the success of everything, you know?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So what about cologne do you think, like, as a listener to this podcast, a lot of them don't know what their niche is, right? And obviously success is a big factor that, hey, I got sales from it. But what do you think about cologne, after all the different categories that you tried, where you're like, hey, okay, this could be for me? Is there something, is it natural for you? Is it something you're used to, or kind of a product that you're used to having? Or what about cologne that you landed on it?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I'll explain it. So I was on The Bachelorette, that you mentioned that in the bio, which was a crazy experience, looking for love on television, which was wild. And so I love talking about dating, and I love helping men with dating content. So I talk about dating stuff on Instagram and some other platforms. It's just a passion of mine, like helping guys out, whatever I could do. I'm not like the ultimate expert on women, but like whatever I could share that has worked for me. And I think it kind of goes in line with cologne, because when I was there on The Bachelorette, like these dudes were freaking like all taller than me, super jacked, dressed super nice, and they smelled great. So I was like, that's the sauce, like dress nice, be fit, smell good. I got to see some of the most successful fit guys ever in my life on that show. And I've said it in my live streams and to my friends, like, I don't know why TikTok is like sending me people for cologne. Like, I don't know what I do that's special. And people are like, well, that's probably what it is. You're just a cool, down to earth guy that is not trying to force anything, do too much. And so I think the dating content that I love, along with the fact that I try to be a man that just like finds those things that are attractive to people.
Informative. That's what I take away from it. It's like you're trying to teach people instead of like push people, right?
Yeah. What can you do that stands out as a man that doesn't have to do with your talk game? You dress nice haircut, you smell good. Those are things that a woman will notice, and you didn't even say anything.
Yeah, it's also like a relatively quick win, right? So you could just buy a cologne and then put it on, and then tonight you're good, versus like having to work out for 3 months and work on your abs every day, right? So quick win.
Quick win.
You mentioned Bachelorette. What season? Because I'm gonna go rewatch it with my wife.
I was on season 16 with Claire Crawley and Tayshia Adams. It was the season where we had 2 bachelorettes. Yeah,
okay. I think we did watch that one, and then I'd have to. I mean, we watched like a handful of them, but I'll go rewatch again, especially the intro ones. See what you're about. Cool. Okay, so you mentioned before the Jimmy Choo Man Blue video, and as you know, we like to kind of go over, some of your videos that you've done in the past, so we can kind of dissect it, and you can give me some of your takeaways from it. But it's taking me a little bit to find it. I'm going to share, and then we will be on our way.
Time I wear this outside. She literally can't stand how much attention I get when I'm wearing my Jimmy Choo cologne. I got like 15 compliments the other day when we were out. No lie. Like, it's really nice. It's got that fresh, smooth vibe, makes you feel real good, makes you smell good. And it's like I said, fresh, smooth, woody, all those good things. It's professional, but it's also like sexy when you're going out. It's a really good vibe. I honestly can't believe that this is on a TikTok shop and the price that it is as well. So I dropped the link right here. You can grab it if you want to. It's really good. And this is it. This is the one that's going to make you feel really fire. And the price point is crazy. Free shipping as well. We fight every.
All right, cool. What are some of the takeaways that you kind of, looking back, what do you think sold it so well?
Yeah, a couple takeaways. So the first thing is I had a script and a teleprompter
Okay.
asked to like learn what I was gonna to like just say what was on there, and it wasn't working. So I just started talking.
You're winging it.
Yeah, I was like, this is not what I wanted to say. The script was way more smooth. So that was the first thing, was like, just be natural. Just be natural, because that teleprompter would have probably prevented me from the video going viral, to be honest with you. So
Okay.
just be natural, just tell a story. Another takeaway is setting and the way you look. I think that the rooftop and the suit played an impact, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I keep fighting this, Ivan, but my biggest sales are when I'm dressed up and on my rooftop.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm like, why am I fighting that? Why am I not on in a suit on my rooftop every day for 2 hours? Videos, like, what are you doing? And then my second biggest video is Dolce Gabbana light blue, where this girl's like, hey, you should try this out. And then I show myself like grabbing the package and opening it up. But I still was dressed up in like a collared shirt in that video with the girl. So I'm like, bro, you need to like worry, like look at your presentation and the way people receive it. Every video that has done well for me in Cologne, I'm dressed up and I'm outside. So
Yeah. Do you know if your buyer is a man or a woman? Would you say, or do you know that?
yeah, it's mostly men, but a lot of women do
Okay.
get fragrances for their men and sometimes for themselves, because some men's colognes are unisex or sweet
Yeah.
enough for women. And then also I'm gonna start getting into perfume soon. I've got a bunch of
Oh,
perfume, and I do want to do some stuff for the ladies.
got it. Yeah, I'm thinking. A lot of the purchases happening from women, but there are a lot of TikTok viewers, right? Men, right? There's a lot. And so I'm thinking, like, when I see a video like that, I know for me, cologne fragrance is a little bit ambiguous. Like, I don't know what it smells like. I don't know what it's for. Like, guys don't, I mean, me, I don't really think about it a lot. So if I see someone that's nicer, well put together, talking highly about an item that I'm thinking about buying, it's a little bit, there's a lot of relation there and kind of in line. So I think that's what it's, because like it's more like a goal, right? I want to be on the rooftop in a suit. That's
Right.
maybe what trans, like I don't want to be in a basement with sweats, right? I want to be on a rooftop in with a suit. So okay, cool.
Great point, Ivan.
Okay, we're gonna enter a rapid fire round of questions. What is an estimated lifetime GMV generated for Garen?
300 and what did I send you? 300.
375, something like that.
Yeah,
334. 334.
334,000. And since I sent that to you, I think I've hit like 20K more since that.
Nice. So 350K. And then what's an approximate breakdown of videos versus lives? Are you aware? Do you know? You can give me a rough estimate. Is it 50-50, 75-25?
I do about 2 to 3 videos a day and about 2 lives a day. So a little bit more videos, but the lives do a lot better.
Nice. Okay. What is one piece of advice you wish you had when you first started?
Ooh, that's so good, because
Try to go back in when you're first starting to make those videos and you're like, man, I wish I knew this.
Don't go for the big products. Don't go for the big products. Go for the small products. It's so funny. I gave this quote the other day in this meeting of people trying to do good on TikTok Shop. I said, if the product has a Discord, if the company has a Discord, you don't want it, because it's already too big, and you can still sell those products. It's great, but you should start with something smaller. So start with a smaller product.
I've been preaching that a lot lately. There's a lot of like intricacies behind creators, right? There's new ones, there's existing ones, there's popping ones. The same thing with brands. There's new brands and popping ones. But like if you're a new creator and you're making videos about popular products, now you're competing with, higher level creators, right? And if you're a new creator, you want to get those first wins. You want to tell TikTok, hey, I know how to get a sale. And it's going to be harder to get a sale with, bigger, more popping products, right? Or just more competitive products, let's call it. But if you have ones that are like lower priced and maybe not as known, lower commission, like you maybe throw commission aside a little bit and get those first actual sales, and hey, like tell TikTok you're moving and grooving. That's a good starting off place, and then you can always build from there. So I like that piece.
I appreciate that. And another thing for smaller creators, one thing that can do well for you right now, take a product that's viral but no one live streams with it. That's another too, because then it's kind of like a new product on live stream, because people can get products cheaper on live stream sometimes because of coupons.
Yeah. So along that, like the back end of that is like, hey, there's a lot of views, a lot of sales happening on this product. Well, now there's a ratio of like how many videos are made versus how many lives are made. And if that ratio is thrown off, like, hey, there's not enough lives made, then you can fill in that gap. So I've talked about this on the pod before, but that's something I have in my roadmap of for my app that I'm developing, right? And I call it like a kind of lives creator, or like uncovering lives. And so that essentially takes a look at the ratio between videos and lives, and for the live creators surfaces those products that need lives events, right? So just an idea that I'm kind of toying around with, but we'll kind of execute on further down the line on that. Okay, so you're kind of seeing a lot of success, both personally off TikTok and then on TikTok Shop. What is one area that you can improve on, right? There's always something you can improve on. How can Garen be a better TikTok Shop, creator?
Yeah, that's such an important question. I can be more organized. Like, I'm building a big fan base now. Like I said, I have 34,000 followers on my TikTok shop, so I could do a better job of letting people know when I'll be live. I just pop up and people go, there he is. But I could do a better job of like planning out the live streams, letting people know I'll be live these days at these times.
Yeah.
I can do a better job of promoting more fragrance products. I only promote the ones that are like the big sellers, and then the ones that I have a sample that I have to do. But I have a ton of them that I haven't even like opened up yet, that I can do videos on. So I need to do a better job of doing more videos with more products, and then being more organized and helping my followers find me.
Got it. Okay. Nice. Yeah. So what's stopping you from doing that now? It's just kind of just a reminder to do that.
Just a reminder to do it. Just a reminder. You get caught up in what's working, but like how long is that going to be sustainable?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You want to diversify a little bit and
yeah.
Cool.
Your question not stopping me. That's the only thing. Yeah. So I just need to.
Okay. I'll see you doing it, sooner than later. What are you most excited about right now? Either professional or personal? What's something that's like, Garrett, dude, this is what wakes you up in the morning, gets you up faster? What's something you're excited about?
I'm really excited about TikTok Shop and live streaming. You said, how do you do 7 hours?
Yeah.
I'm helping men out those 7 hours, and women too, who want to get a gift for their guy. Those 7 hours fly by. I could do longer if they weren't draining. I could go longer because I'm giving men dating advice. I'm giving them smell good advice. So what excites me is TikTok Shop. And then also now I'm making enough money to where I can do some of the entertainment things I told you about. Like I'm planning to launch my own live comedy dating show. And so I'm really excited that Shop is helping me fund that venture.
Interesting. Is that similar, the live dating show, similar to what I like on YouTube clips that I see, where it's kind of like they're ask questions of each other and like a buzzer type atmosphere? Or talk to me a little bit about that show. That's pretty awesome, because I watch those clips all the time.
They're so fun. You have two types of dating shows I see on YouTube. The ones where it's like a white room with no audience and you're just setting people up, and then you have these comedians like myself who have created these dating shows where it's a live audience. They're recording it.
Okay, they pull audience members up.
Got a live audience. Yep.
Okay, and that's what you're doing. And then TikTok Shop has provided you that opportunity, that financial stability to be able to kind of get that going. Love it. Okay, so it's like a dating show. Yeah, I've definitely seen that one as well. So I was thinking about the other one where it's a white room, but now that you mentioned like the kind of maybe comedy setting and kind of getting them up there and asking precarious, questions and getting them in situations where it can cause laughter.
Yep.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that's awesome. You shared so many gems, Garen. Thank you so much. That concludes it for today's episode. Thank you so much for being on the episode. For those interested, Garen's TikTok handle will be in the show notes below. Any last messages for the audience, Garen? So people who are listening.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. Like I said, I was already a fan of the podcast, so it's kind of surreal to be on something that you consume. And then also, I'll say if anybody wants to reach out, like you can DM me on Instagram or TikTok. I love helping people out, and yeah, if you have any further questions, I could just answer them there.
Cool. Well, for me, thank you, Garen, for your time today. And I see those golf clubs behind you, so we might need to get out there on the 18 one of these days.
Let's do it.
But yeah, this concludes it for today's episode. Thanks very much for joining. AffiliateAcademyHQ.com. You can check us out there, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, everyone. See ya.